Specialist staffing firm Empresaria is confident of further growth after it delivered record pre-tax profit and an EPS rise in the year just gone. CEO Joost Kroelen joins me now, along with Financial Director Spencer Ryford. Well, thank you both for coming in. Let's talk about the results first of all. What were the highlights for you?
Well, the highlights of the year, as your introduction explained, is we had a record profit this year, which was fantastic. Ahead of expectations. At the same time, we were able to reduce our debt with 26%, creating a stronger balance sheet. Earnings growth in earnings per share delivered to that. And last but not least, we follow a progressive dividend policy, and dividends will be up 43%.
You are a global company. You're in lots of markets. How have all of the fluctuations on the currency markets affected the numbers?
Yeah, 2015 was affected negatively overall on the profit. We don't have a huge amount of trading over different borders, so a lot of our profits are based in country. So it's the translation exposure back into sterling for reporting that gives us our currency exposure. So overall, on the profit before tax level, we had a hit of about £300,000 in 2015. Now, moving into 2016, at the moment the rates are more favourable, so hopefully we'll see a positive position on currency as we go through the rest of this year.
It's one of those things you just have to factor in and keep an eye on, isn't it?
One of the beauties about having our diversified group is that we're in so many different countries, 18 different countries, and so it means that if you have currency up in one area, then maybe it's covered by a currency down somewhere else. So we have a bit of a natural hedge already.
Well, we've talked about diversification. It's been a very big year for investment, hasn't
Absolutely,
it?
yes. We did make an investment in the United States. We acquired a company called Pharmaceutical Strategies, and that gives us entrance in the healthcare staffing market in the United States, which is a very booming market, very strong growth, double-digit growth, and it's all driven by the Affordable Care Act. So we're very happy to have made that investment, which marks our entrance into the US market.
And growth that you're seeing, that's been across all KPIs, hasn't it?
Yeah, the three kind of main areas that we look at. We set targets back in 2014, 5-year targets, and the main KPIs were net fee income growth of 10%, and we've achieved 10% growth in 2015, 16% in constant currency. We're also targeting to reach a conversion ratio of 20%, and that is the ratio of operating profit as a ratio of gross profit, and that was increasing up to 16.3%, our 4th year of improvement. And also our target is for net debt to be as a ratio of debt to trade receivables of 25%, and we were down at 23%, so we've reached that target. So we're very pleased with how we're progressing against all of those KPIs, and we hope to make further progress in 2016. And
it is progress, isn't it? Because you're happy with those results, they beat expectations.
No, absolutely, and we're very confident to continue on this growth. And as Spencer just highlighted, we're working on a 5-year plan, and we're bang on track with that. So we see now 10 consecutive quarters of growth, so the story just continues.
Operationally, let's talk about the highlights there.
In 2015 we've seen very good results coming from Australia and from Thailand, but in particular Germany and India, the profits have significantly gone up. In India we operate with an offshore recruitment service concept, which delivers services to the United Kingdom and to the USA. And predominantly in the USA market, we've grown our presence considerably with the offshore recruitment services.
So a lot to digest and to think about. Looking ahead though to 2016, where's the growth going to come from?
Well, we're focused on 6 key sectors, and we expect all of those to have potential for growth. The world economy was started off in slightly uncertain times, but it's still seen to be in positive growth mode across the world, so we expect to see it across the group.
Any particular elements of the group, because you mentioned pharmaceuticals, are there any particular areas that you're particularly excited about?
Well, I think healthcare certainly is on a global basis a very attractive market, as well as IT. IT with the Internet of Things, cloud solutions, cybersecurity, those are all areas which are growing very fast. The hot markets in the 2016 year, most likely are going to be the US, the UK, and for Europe, Germany, and then in Asia, Japan. And these are countries where we have quite a good exposure to, so I'm pretty confident that we can benefit from that potential.
You say there's potential. You say that you're already in there and you can benefit from the presence you've got there. Any acquisitions on the cards?
We're always looking at opportunities. We're always looking at opportunities to increase our presence in the key sectors that we've identified, and we either do that organically or through a buy strategy. So we're always working on an active pipeline of potential opportunities.
And bearing that in mind, and with an eye on the finances, how are you fixed to buy up what you fancy?
Well, the fact that our debt reduced so significantly over the last 2 years has put us in a very strong position. So we're now at a comfortable level where we think we can, invest further. So we're looking at using our free cash flow to either invest in the business, to increase the dividend, as Joost mentioned earlier, and to either make acquisitions or invest organically.
Increase the dividend. I think that's something that the investors will spark up an interest in.
Hopefully.
So what's the plan there? Is it just in discussion, or?
Well, what we announced this year was a progressive policy in line with trading performance. So what we mean by that is we'd expect to see an increasing dividend as long as we're increasing our profits going forward.
So let's look at the strategy and look at the progress that you've made so far. Is it on track? Can you keep up the pace?
The strategy is, the growth of the business is on track with the plan. We're delivering to the strategy year on year. We continue to develop leading brands in the key sectors that we operate in. We like to have our portfolio of businesses diversified over geographies and over sectors so that we're not exposed to one geography or to one sector, which makes the business model quite robust. And we do that through a buy and build strategy. Furthermore, which is very important in our business model, is that we seek for alignment between investors, shareholders, and management in the companies. So in all our operating companies, management does have a minority shareholding, and currently we have 44 managers over 19 brands that have a minority shareholding in the business.
You talk about having a robust business plan, and it seems like you're quite steady as you go. What are you most excited about, though, in the coming months? What should investors look out for that's tickling your fancy?
I think what's important for 2016 is we're having the full benefit of the acquisition of Pharmaceutical Strategies. So last year's results are actually negatively impacted because we had to expense all of the costs of the acquisition, all the legal fees. So going into 2016, we have that full positive benefit coming through. So that is important.
Any further thoughts on the year ahead and what you're looking forward to?
Oh, we're looking at all sorts of exciting things. We're very beat up and positive about 2016.
But markets in the US, markets in Asia, those are ones that have got a lot of potential.
Well, the Asian market might slow down a little bit compared to the previous years, but then again the UK market, the German market and the US market are indicated as being good growth markets for 2016. And as I said earlier, we're quite good exposed to these mature markets. So we're quite excited about the opportunities that these markets will give us.
Well, it's great to hear that you're both excited about the opportunities. It's been great talking to both of you as well. Thank you both so much.
Thank you. Thank you.